everybody, this is going to be my first ride and review of a bike I've been long waiting to do, the RNineT. It's almost as if heavens will open and the angels shall sing as my butt sits on it. Alrighty, let me go ahead and adjust these out a little bit here. Okay. Alrighty. So left side, standard analog style speedometer. Right side is going to be standard analog style. There we go. Tachometer, gear indication, and of course you can go through all the fun stuff in the info box. So you have your average speeds, your voltage, your ride time, the date, miles per gallon. Get your trip information on the left side, and you can enter setup and go through all the other fun stuff. You can disable ABS, heated grip, start, stop. Everything's good to go. Horn down here. Of course, you got your bright, forward for bright, then flash the pass. Go ahead and start her up, and we'll get ready to ride. All right, nothing quite like having a boxer below you. Nothing quite like it. Of course, the Akrapovic exhaust on this one, the Pure does not have it. Of course, I didn't get to ride that one. All right, friction zone on the clutch is basically right at the end of the travel, just like most of your hydro clutches. Throttle response is actually rather quick, but fueling is average. It's not a smooth fueling, but it's not terrible either. I mean, as you can see, you get jumps, but that's all right. It's more of a pure motorcycle than most that BMW makes, and I like that. I like the feeling of an original type motorcycle that's just simple and easy to use. Nothing special on the dashboard when it comes down to the turn signals either. It's just the standard old double light. As I noticed on the K1600 is the gear selection does not lock into place when you're in first gear. It actually still continues to click down. So you just need to make sure you're watching your actual deal. Now that's something I will note is the fit and finish. I mean, overall pretty decent until you like kind of chintzy there to me. But this little guy has been a bike that I've been wanting to ride so much because it's the best looking BMW to me. I don't like all the funky, weird faces that all of them make. This one makes this just the best statement to me. Absolutely the best statement. Now the suspension on this bike is fully adjustable, front and rear. I have no idea what the preload is set to, but it is a very firm suspension as I go over some of these broken roads. This engine is a lot of torque. I mean, woohoo! Oh. That's all I'm saying. It's just fun to have a boxer because you get that slight pull off to the direction of the travel of the drive shaft, and then you get torque, just immense amount of torque right off the bottom end, and good mid-range too, because right now I'm at 4,000 RPMs and it's like in a sweet spot. It's like whoop, whoop. I mean, it would just go and go whenever I hit it. Seating position is very standard for this motorcycle, so slightly down slope on your arms, mid-mount with your feet slightly back. Like I said, I like riding in third gear. This is just in its power band. It's perfect. And it's not even that vibe heavy or anything either. God, I love the way this thing sounds. I hope for all of you, you can hear the magnificence of this Tachometer exhaust that's stock on this bike. I just wish you guys could hear this beautiful sound. Like I said, pulls great in the low range. It's just fantastic. I haven't even tested the rest of the transmission, just third gear. Let's go up in time here. This transmission is spot on too. Very positive feedback from the shifter. Very, very good and clean shifts too. And clutch travel, even though it is toward the end of it for the friction zone, very smooth shifting bike. Very easy to control the throttle and the clutch. Just a nice little bike that will cruise right along. I'm doing 50 miles an hour at around 3,000 RPMs in top gear. So I am in 6th. And it doesn't feel like it's bogging or anything at this time. Okay, there's a little bit of bog on that one, but not too bad. Go ahead and back down to third, because I like third. One more gear. There we go. Perfect band. Just so perfect right there. I don't know why. Alrighty. Here we are, 50 miles an hour, third gear, 4,500 RPMs. I'll go ahead and shift again. Just get back up to a cruise. There we go, 6th gear, 60 miles an hour, 3,500 RPM. This bike rides like I thought it would. As beautiful as this bike looks, and as great as this bike looks, it rides just like an old school, no frills motorcycle, pure motorcycle. That's a big bump in the middle there. Oh man, this thing rides exactly like I thought it would. It's just beautiful, and I'm hitting the hardest parts. And like I said, the suspension definitely is stiff, and it could very much well be. It's not set to a good preload to me, or it could be that it is stiff. I can't make an assumption on that because I do not have proper knowing or knowledge of that yet. In the higher RPM range, around 5,500, 5,000 to 5,500, you definitely do feel this bike start to vibrate through the handlebar and through the pegs. So you do get some vibes going on. You want to keep it under 5 if you're going to be in a nice cruise configuration where the bike is not vibrating as heavy and has good power band. Man, this thing, I'm glad it rides exactly how I thought it would. I'm glad my mind did not overhype this motorcycle. Ever since it came out a few years, 4 years ago now, I guess, I've always been wanting to ride this thing and never get the opportunity. I've always been turned away. But my goodness, it is just a lovely little machine. The handlebars are in the right spot. They're the right width. The mirrors are nice and out there. You can sit there and grab them, and they got very good visibility behind you. Everything is just wonderful on this motorcycle. The chassis feels really good. I know we haven't tried so many hard turns yet, but you can just, such easy. I mean, you just push. You can see me doing the pushing, and it just so, it's ready to change. I need to try this on some twisty hills. Be fun with it. Just like an afternoon ride. I mean, just an everyday ride. I'm already that comfortable with it. I would never feared this bike. I was hyped about it, but it's just like it feels like I'm at home. It doesn't feel like it has the punch of my Night Rod Special, but it looks better and it sounds better. Yeah, that engine braking will take you to the right side of the bike. Just a lovely, lovely machine. It just feels so right. It just feels so, so right. I'm just going to say that so many times. This one does not have that clutchless shifting. This does not have any of that extra stuff. This is just pure motorcycle nirvana. Definitely turns great. I mean, what else can you say? This is how a motorcycle should be. Day in and day out. Perfection. Just, I mean, what can I say bad about it? That the downshifter does not click in and stay put like others do? I mean, no, that's not the problem at all. This is motorcycling. This is how it's supposed to be. So much beauty in this machine. So much. I just, wow. I'm glad I did not overhype this to the point. I was wrong. I'm glad it rides like it has to ride. I am glad it rides how it looks. I'm glad it rides the way it rides. am just, dad gummit, man. I need this bike in my life every dadgum day. That is how excited I am about this thing. Yes! Oh, by the way, the engine braking, like I said, besides the little turn to the right you get because of the, you know, boxer engine, it's just, it works great. Very, very well balanced motorcycle too. And you know what? With the engine being, you know, a boxer, I am feeling a little bit of the heat on my shins and near my boots, so they are getting a little warm, but I don't feel anything above that. There's nothing getting up to the main part of the rider, just the feet. But in motion, there's nothing there. It blows off very nicely, so you don't get that much heat coming off the bottom end of that engine. If you're big-footed like mine, and apparently your whole foot is in the engine practically. And the brakes, the standard brakes are fantastic. Everything you would expect is what we're seeing here. Just a fantastic motorcycle. This folks, this replaces Ray, my Night Rod, as my favorite motorcycle that I've ever rode. This replaces her by a long shot. It doesn't have to have the punch. It doesn't have to have the Harley-Davidson name. It just has to ride and feel and work great like this. It just has to get going and feel perfect and do things great. In everything this thing is doing, it is doing great. Even that slight little refueling issue that I don't even care. It's not enough to care. This bike has got to be the greatest one I've ever rode. And I'm not saying that lightweight either. My goodness gracious. So, yes, definitely, if you're looking for the R9T and you're looking at a small retro looking or not necessarily cruiser, this is more of a cafe style, this is the bike. This is the bike that you should have. At any rate, this is the Rabid Hedgehog. We'll catch you on the next review.